back after that short break. So we now have a panel discussion on a very relevant topic, rising from the regions, the growth and national aspirations of regional players. Mr. Chirag, Sheth from Metal Focus would be moderating the discussion. The panel comprises well-known names from the retail jewelry industry. We have Mr. Gaurav Anand from Anand Jewels, Indore. I would request the panelists to please come onto the stage. So we have Mr. Gaurav Anand from from Anand Jewels, Indore. Mr. Anil Talwar from Talwarsons in Chandigarh, who will be joining us online. I think he's already online. We have Mr. R. Satish, who is the CEO of Vaibhav Jewellers Group based in Visakhapatnam. And we have Mr. Saiyam Mehra, who is chairman of All India Gem and Jewellery Domestic Council, that is GJC, and MD of Mumbai's Unique Chains. Gentlemen, I would request you to come to the stage for the panel discussion and the audience to please greet them with a round of applause. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Sai and Harish for putting this wonderful annual conference. It's an honor to moderate a panel discussion with such heavyweights, from the industry. My job is a bit easier in that sense. So the topic of today's panel discussion is essentially rising from the regions, the growth and national aspirations of regional players. And, we are at an interesting time in the Indian gold market. In fact, if you look at over the last, 5-6 years, Indian gold market has gone through a lot of changes, both on the trade point of view, but also on the consumer point of view. We've seen the growth of national chain stores. We've seen trade moving towards more organized business. During this time, we've also seen a sharp increase in duties in the country to a record level. On the consumer side, we've seen a lot of consumer behavioral change. For example, the growth of diamond jewelry sales in India, that really stands out. And I'm going to pick Gaurav's brain on that. We've also seen in India the growth of lightweight jewelry, how regionally things are changing. In fact, within the region also, we are now seeing a lot of changes. And over the next 30 minutes or so, Harish, how much time do we got? Okay. So hopefully over the next 30 minutes, we'll have this discussion, and then last 10 minutes, we'll open the floor for Q&A. Let me actually first come to Saiyam bhai, as chairman of one of the largest trade bodies in the country. Over the last maybe 5-6 years, how have you seen the industry changing, and what are your key takeaways from that?
Thank you, Chirag. So I think the growth of the gem and jewelry industry per se, the showrooms, sizes, or the quantity of business, the growth has come basically in the last 5 to 6 years. People have started getting more and more organized. The trade has come from an unorganized to the totally organized, and the people who are organized now are getting the next level of growth. If we see the gold rates, previously when the gold rates were also 30,000, 20,000, 25,000, there was a mindset, and people were saying that the gold rates will increase to 42,000, what will happen to the sales of the country? But when we see that the rates are increasing, the confidence of the customer is increasing, the hallmarking has come, designs are upgrading, and I think the level of technology also, which has increased in the last 5 to 6 years, the interest of the Indians in gem and jewelry sector, in the gold, in the diamonds, has increased so much that I think sky is the limit now. And I think 5 years was just a start, but the coming 5 to 6 years also is going to be growth. Industrial revolution is also going to be there in our industry, as we see a lot of industrial parks coming about, a lot of people importing the machines. And I think previously we all used to go to Dubai, we used to go to Malaysia, we used to go to Singapore, we used to go to Turkey to see the jewelry. But now if you see, Chirag, that jewelry is being manufactured here, exported there, and people are loving the jewelry, not only handmade jewelry, which can only be made in India, but the machine-made jewelry, which was previously made in these countries, now is being exported from here. So domestic market also is growing exponentially. and the export market through India industry is also growing hugely.
So, you actually make an interesting point. You said, there has been growth of organized trade, right? And even when we look at our essential numbers, we now see that, chain stores, our definition of chain stores is essentially anybody having more than 20 stores is now having a market share of 38%, So, do you think that now even more and more regional, players who are probably having 4 stores, 5 stores, are operating more like chain stores, having systems in place? Do you see from your experience that?
See, the thing is, every regional player has a mindset that he wants to become a national player, open more stores. But there is a very thin line in this. If you have aspirations with that risk-taking capacity, generally if you see, even if all the corporates are there, if you see, everybody has a huge family. At least 3 or 4 people are there in one family. You have to see to it that the entire unit is thinking in one direction. That is very important part of the whole thing. If there is a youngster who's coming in the business, he studied from abroad, he studied from Harvard or any other place, and he comes inside and says tomorrow that, Papa, I want to open multiple stores. Family alignment is not there. Risk-taking capacity is not there in the entire family. 4 stores is something which nowadays we are reaching.
Yes.
We are reaching in the same city, maybe 100 kilometers, we are reaching to 4 stores. But when you have to make a 25 stores or above that, you have to have all 360 growths. Nowadays, still the Indian mindset is the orthodox mindset. We will not take bank loans. We will not pay that much taxes. But you have to do that to grow. If you do not pay taxes, you do not take logical bank loans, you do not keep your books on order. I think the budget came right now, we had a post-budget interaction. Every day we have a new law. And I think if you don't have a strong legal team, banking team, a strong team to handle the entire things, the whole system, I think only by normally doing your paperwork you cannot grow. You need a strong mindset. So it's all 360 growth is there. You will only see about 12 to 15 national players or maybe 25. But if you see the domestic, 4 stores once, you may find 200, 250.
Absolutely.
So this thin line of jump is very important. And in gem and jewelry, you do less work or you do organized work, you gain good profits. But there is a very thin line, as I say. If you do little error is there, it is like a snake and ladder. You go on the 19 and then the snake bites you and you come back on 2. So it's a thin line to go about it. It's a lot of organization is required for that.
Right. So, and Gaurav, I want to actually come in on you. We had a discussion just last month at the Retail Jeweler Forum, and you essentially are, as Saiyam pointed out, a medium size, 3-4 store, but you operate as a corporate, essentially, right? So what is it, a lesson that you would, give out to the trade, because you and Talwarji are essentially kind of market leaders in your city, your area. So what are the lessons that you would like to,
So I would start with what Mr. Mehra said. The biggest thing is either family or shareholder backing. So a regional player trying to grow and also trying to aspire for being a national player, or I would call at least Hindi speaking player or a South Indian player, the backing of either family is also a shareholder to your decision making, and then giving the lead to one person in the game is the key to success, and that is where the real call comes in, because once the company or the people who are taking the risk and having the stakes and putting their hard work and efforts and money are decided on a thing, it is completely backed, and there is a face of company who's pushing those dreams and visions in front of the consumer. Then also the bank comes into picture, and all the industry bodies and technology comes into picture. Then only you can become a corporate. So I started my store 7 years back, and I was very clear when I had just one store started that I am the only one in working member of the family. So I was very clear that I would like to run a team of people who would work for me. I have a backing of family of what the shareholder wants, and I would be the face of the company, but nothing in the table would what I would do myself. So these are certain things which regional players need to learn from corporates and in fact excel than corporates. So lot of corporates and top companies in India which are leaders in themselves come to us, learn from us, and we are happy to teach them, because once you share your knowledge and experience with them, you also gain it. So we are very strong in our consumer insights. We are very connected with our consumers. That is what national players learn from us. System processes and SOPs is what we learn from them. So it's about sharing those knowledge, but ultimately everybody has to corporatize, because even if somebody is running a single store, stores are becoming larger with time, and the inventory is huge, hundreds of people are working. You can't say every customer you're going to deal, and every transaction you have to be having a say. So this is a mindset change which is there, and the backing of the family is important.
राइट तलवार जी, मैं काफ़ी साल पहले आपसे मिला था आपके स्टोर में, और आपने एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ कही थी इन्वेंट्री मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, कैसे आपने सिस्टम्स इन प्लेस किए हुए। तो और आप आज जैसे चंडीगढ़ में देखें तो आप एक्चुअली मार्केट लीडर है, ठीक है। तो ये चीज़ आप अगर समझाएंगे यहाँ पे जो बैठे हैं लोगों के लिए कि कैसे आपने सिस्टम्स इन प्लेस लाए, कैसे SOPs लाए, और क्या क्या फोकस करना चाहिए अगर किसी को एक जो नेशनल चेन स्टोर्स या रीजनल चेन स्टोर्स है उनके साथ compete करने के लिए।
Ajay, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I am in a city called Chandigarh now. Like, as far as my family is concerned, I am the 7th known generation into it. My kids are the 8th one. And what I would say is that, this business is growing on a very different level altogether now. There was a time when every small city had small jewelers there. Now, jewelry business is coming on to very limited hands. So the brands on one side and the family held jewelry stores on the other side. And everyone's growing big in this industry. There are certain issues which I feel, which will all these organizations need to get together and work out certain issues in this. One is the government support which we want. We need to all get together and really tell them what is right and what is wrong with us. Now, the PAN card issue which has been going on for a very long time. I have been in FICCI I was a all-India co-chairman for 3 terms now. And I represented the gem and jewelry industry in the Make in India campaign also, when Modi Sahab started it. So there are a few things which all of us need to get together, and this industry can only grow if we can pass on certain things to the government and tell them what is right and what is wrong. See, at this point of time, we have a major industry in India, jewelry industry, which is number 2 industry in India. All this business is happening just because of certain policies of the government of India. What I feel is the government needs to be told on certain issues, like the PAN card issue now. That's a very good issue, there is no doubt in it. But the strictness now, the PAN card, all these, your driving license, your Aadhaar card, everything is linked to a PAN card. Why it be just a PAN card? Now in a city like Chandigarh, it is like the fashion capital of North. There are people, customers coming from all over North to buy jewelry here. But tell me how many of us carry a PAN card with us at all times? So when things are linked together, any ID given by a customer, even a driving license or Aadhaar card, whatever, is good enough. I'm saying the government, the number 2 industry in India, the basic reason for this is the amount of gold which is smuggled into India and is sold here is without bill, lay low, without bill. There are a lot of people who are into it, big time into it. And that is cutting the business of these brands which are there and the big jewelry stores who want to do the business only number 1, nothing other than that. So we need to pass this on to the government and probably sit down with the finance department as such and tell them that, okay, just let them give whatever they have to give. Now there are, in our family, in every family, there are ladies who would like to collect cash. Cash kattha ho gaya, and they do, no, you can't do this, you can't go give this, you can't do this, you can't do this. Why all these laws? I mean, they're not buying drugs, they're buying jewelry. And then any lady for that matter, the first objective she has in mind at all times is what is going to be my next buy in jewelry. So we need to all get together and say this on to the finance ministry now and explain it to them that we are just trying to tell you that the number 2 business in India, the reason for that is the policy of the central government now.
Sure.
In case they don't improve on these things, then smuggling would never stop in India.
Right.
Let's go to these smaller cities and even the middle level cities there. No one would give you a bill. I mean, the entire industry is standing on it. And what are we trying to promote? We are basically killing the industry. Number 1 industry ko khatam kar rahe hain, number 2 industry ko promote kar rahe hain without they understanding it also.
Right, right. Okay, point well taken. Ramesh sir, Thangamayil is a great success story coming out of, the heritage town of Madurai. You are a chain store, listed player. And I remember many years ago you had told me that आपको एक CA ने बताया था value create करना है या क्या करना है. अगर आप सर ये लोगों को जिसको ये स्टोरी पता नहीं, आप ये बता सके कि कैसे एक मदुराई से एक सिंगल स्टोर रिटेलर became a chain store listed entity. If you could just share your experience, it would be a great one for people here.
Hare Krishna. Actually, we are family jewelers. From 1979 से हम व्यापार में हैं. 1991 में हमको अलग दुकान रख कर देता है हमारा भाई. उसका नाम थंगामैल ज्वेलरी है. उसके पहले बालू ज्वेलरी, बालू सिल्वर्स नाम में 2 दुकान था. एक दिन उस समय हमारा दुकान का साइज 250 का स्क्वायर फीट है. काफ़ी व्यापार चलता है. एक दिन मैंने एक शादी को जाकर आता है. उस समय मैंने देखा, हमारा असिस्टेंट को पूछा ये क्या है. उन्होंने देखा ये लोग बच्चों लोग हैं, ये स्कूल को जा रहा है. अच्छा ठीक है. फिर भी मैंने उनके पास, आप ये देखने के बाद आपको क्या सोच रहा है, क्या मन में आ रहा है. ये बोला ये बच्चों लोग हैं, ऐसा ज़्यादा स्कूल है, ये इधर उधर जा रहा है, ऐसा पढ़. ऐसा सेम क्वेश्चन मैंने उनके पास 5-6 टाइम में मैंने उनके पास पूछा. फिर उन्होंने हमारे पास पूछा क्या भाई मालिक, मॉर्निंग से इतना टाइम में इतना सेम क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है, आपको दिल में क्या सोच रहा है. मैंने उनके पास बोलता हूँ क्या इतना लोग हैं, ये लोग बड़ा होने के बाद उनको लेने के लिए नेकलेस चाहिए, पायल चाहिए, चेन चाहिए, अंगूठी चाहिए. सो हमको दुकान बहुत कम है, स्पेस भी नहीं है. So I saw the opportunity in the roadside. Then I came to know, so we should become a big showroom and big size, and all the shops should be in near all my smaller town. Because in our area, smaller towns are, even now, they are telling 92%, but they are giving melting 78. So the purity is not good, the bow is ज़्यादा है. So if we are going to do the best product, best price, best service, our turnover should be much higher. So आप सब लोग बोल रहे हैं अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड ऑर्गेनाइज्ड को मिंगल हो रहा है. ये तो हमने 2007 से शुरू किया. धीरे धीरे 2010 के अंदर 5 शोरूम डाला. फिर 2010 में स्मॉलर साइज में IPO आ गया. उस समय हमारा कंपनी का मार्केट कैप 100 करोड़ है. अभी हमारा कंपनी का मार्केट कैप 1500 करोड़ है. उसी समय हमारा टर्नओवर 200 करोड़ था, अभी 2800 करोड़. सो स्मॉलर टाउन में इफ़ यू आर कॉन्सेंट्रेटिंग स्मॉलर टाउन, खर्चा भी ज़्यादा नहीं, उधर का लोकल में एम्प्लॉय भी अच्छा मिलता है. सो सब अच्छा है. सेफेस्ट हेवन ज्वेलरी बिजनेस. थैंक यू.
Satish, Manoj Vaibhav is being touted as the next big, jewelry chain store. Y'all are run professionally in that sense, while family jewelers still run professionally, right? And I'm sure y'all are obviously looking at what Ramesh sir has pointed out. A lot of things y'all are implementing that. Coming from Vijayawada, running it professionally. What was the ethos behind it? What was the logic behind going professional when you see this entire industry is rather family driven?
See, yeah, so, morning everybody. So basically we are from Visakhapatnam, the city of destiny in Andhra Pradesh. So we started the showroom in 94, the first showroom in 94 with 800 square feet showroom. Then we stabilized there, we got the goodwill of the customers in Vizag and other things. Then we felt, okay, there's a need, there is a demand, and there's an opportunity for growth. Then we decided, okay, let us open one big showroom in 2007-8. We opened one 30,000 square feet retail space of Vaibhav Jewellers showroom in Visakhapatnam. So where that was the first ISO certified company also that time. So none of the jewelers were ISO certified also. We opened the 30,000 square feet, 2007-8, and where not many players were there in that time. Then we stabilized our operation for 5-6 years. Then we thought, okay, let us expand. So when we thought expansion, we thought, okay, first is the nearby areas. Then we thought, okay, the planning is like, let us go first to the 100 kilometers radius and establish our presence. So then go further down. So now we are in the reach of 200 kilometers, and then we have 11 showrooms set up like that. And then we started, we are the first Andhra-based organization where we moved to Hyderabad to set up 2 showrooms in Hyderabad also. So now we have 13 showrooms. So, and the logic what Ramesh Garu was telling is like perfect. We use the local employees in each and every place. We appoint them, we give them training, our ethics, our ethos, our family culture, our bonding, and then we move forward. So that's how the bonding comes to the place, that's how we get connected to the customers, and that's how we grow. The organization setup is like strategies are done by the family, the execution is done by the professionals. We have professionals heading all the departments like marketing, SCM, operations, security, HR, everybody from pharma industry, healthcare industry, then hospitality, then even FMCG products. Like that we are appointed. So there's a mix of both. Their ideas, the way they are looking at, those industries are looking at, and how we are looking at. And that's how the mixes come, and then we are able to grow. Now we are doing around 2,000 crores turnover with these 13 showrooms. Now we are also planning IPO in the next 3-4 months' time. So if everything goes well, then we move forward and then this thing. And we also follow literally Thangamayil on a regular basis. So we follow how they move and how they expand and how they really grown to this level. So we also look at the option of getting into the regional space. For example, Andhra is having 26 districts. We are only in 6 districts, frankly. So there is an opportunity to grow in Andhra only. And Hyderabad, there are 33 districts. We are only in 2 districts. There's an opportunity to grow there. So basically, we thought, okay, let us explore these 2 markets, which is our forte, basically Telugu-speaking people. We are from Andhra. The attachment is there. The communication is clear. And also, we get a good goodwill and the brand visibility across these 2 states. So the planning is, we thought, okay, regional promotion or regional growth is the USP for us. So we build the relationship around that concept across all these villages and districts and other things, and then we move forward. So then we slowly, over a period of time, we might come to the other parts of southern India and then the Orissa border. So we are not looking at pan-India immediately. It's a steady or a progressive growth rather than jumping into North India and other things. We are looking at concentrating on our strengths and then grow further and move in a positive way.
Sure. So in a sense, if I could summarize, quickly what we've discussed, I think it's important to have systems in place. It's important to have probably a team of professionals or even family members who run the business with a clear vision in place. And also, obviously, and then something which Ramesh sir very importantly pointed out is the trust factor. And I think that is something that a couple of years ago, World Gold Council had done a study on what was the single biggest issue, and where trust was the one which was highlighted, that consumer trust is something which is very, very important for success of a brand or success of a business. So I think that is something which is very important. Now let's look at some of the trends that we are seeing in the market. Actually, this question is to both Gautam and Anil ji. We've traditionally North India was a big diamond jewelry hub, right? We used to speak with jewelers, let's say in Punjab, Haryana, or even Delhi. They used to say 20-30% of stores our sales are essentially diamond jewelry driven. However, today we are seeing pan India diamond kind of picking up. More and more diamond is being democratized. What is your kind of takeaway from that? Why do you think this is happening? What's the big change that has happened in last 2 or 3 years? Please.
Hello. I can tell you about Central India. What is happening is, if you're creating experience places, if you're not just creating a store, I have no offense to Thangamayil, I also see your excellent work. But the middle class of India, what we were seeing in the statistics, is not visiting jewelry store to buy only gold or invest in gold. They're also going as a family, as a time of 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours for shopping, not for the need of buying or investment only. They're also giving it an experience time, just like visiting a restaurant or visiting a park. It's a family time. So if you are able to create retail spaces which are as good in the environment where customer slightly forgets his only agenda of investment, which is there, and then move into retail and fashion is added to it, then we can sell more diamonds for sure. And everybody, it's an open secret in this trade that if you don't sell diamonds along with gold jewelry, there's no high margin which we are going to make, because there's a lot of cost of running a retail, promoting it, marketing cost is there, whether it is in a 1 lakh people town or a million plus town or a metro. If you don't sell diamond along with your gold jewelry, you are out in business.
Sure.
Or you have to charge for gold jewelry a bomb. And then again, you enter a negative cycle. So the idea is, in Central India and in other parts of India, why it is growing? The question was, because the environment is changing. So I just met Mr. Rokde, he's from Nagpur, and he created a wonderful store right now. If you're creating big spaces which are beautiful places inside and it's more like a retail environment, people are going to buy fashion as well. So we are selling 20-25% diamond jewelry, not because of the investment quotient, but yes, person is also looking for fashion. Gold तो घर में हर एक के है, कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जिसके पास गोल्ड ही नहीं है.
अनिल जी, मैं आपसे इससे जुड़ा हुआ एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा. जैसे गौरव जी ने भी कहा कि क्या फिर ये ज़रूरी है, अगर कोई 1, 2, 3, 4 स्टोर जो सेटअप है उसको फिर अगर चेन स्टोर्स के साथ compete करना है तो एक एक्सपीरियंस प्रोवाइड करना ज़रूरी है, या फिर एक पर्सनलाइज सर्विस देना ज़रूरी है? क्या ये आपके भी जो लेगेसी है उसका एक सक्सेसफुल मंत्रा रहा है?
See, I would agree 100% whatever was said just now. If we see it that way, if we take the generations 1950s, 60s की generation को ले हम, so this was generation which was primarily into gold only. Like our family, we were one of the very, very first ones to start in early 70s, start diamonds in early 70s. And then, 70s, 80s was when diamonds started. Now, then after that was the generation of 1990, 2000, when diamonds got promoted in a big, big way. And now the new generations which are coming in now, they are more diamond centered than gold, or maybe fancy jewelry and gold. This would always keep changing.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for any customer who walks in. And the one way to grow, fantastic way to grow is have multiple stores now. But, it is a little different in a place called Chandigarh. Now, Chandigarh is very centrally located. We have 4 states around us. And as I said earlier, Chandigarh is actually the fashion capital of North. Anyone in Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, any influent family getting married there, they would do their shopping. Most of them would come to Chandigarh for the shopping. And Chandigarh being in this, then diamonds are a big time this thing here. There is no doubt in it. The new generation coming in now, the price packet pay is more. And what I have believed, I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything against anyone or whatever, but what I feel is that, the amount of stocks you can have in a single store. My main store is under construction right now. We are just, it's going to be 8,500, 9,000 square feet store. And primarily, what we try to do is that we like to cater to any customer which walks in. It's not that, see, most of the stores which I've seen in Delhi, Bombay now, the bigger stores, they try to go into that bigger packet customer and try to avoid the smaller packet customer. I think that is not the right approach. We need to tackle any customer, any level customer which comes in. And diamonds and gold would sell all together. But we are more into, in a store, opening a store 30, 40, 50 kilometers away. Today, anyone who has to buy jewelry can travel 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 kilometers to buy jewelry as long as the stock is more. So what we've always believed in, I may be a little different to what the market thinks. And maybe I may start thinking like the market, maybe the next generation now from me may start thinking that way. But I've always believed, you give them so much of stock, you give them so much of choice that they have no choice but to buy it from you.
राइट राइट इंटरेस्टिंग रमेश सर ये डायमंड पे एक क्विक मैं कमेंट आपसे चाहूँगा जैसे पहले सुना नहीं था साउथ डायमंड ज्वेलरी इतनी ज़्यादा खरीदता है बट आज अगर आप तमिलनाडु चले जाए या आप कर्नाटका में चले जाए और किसी भी ज्वेलर से पूछे कि आपके डायमंड ज्वेलरी का सेल्स का शेयर क्या है तो आप सब कहते हैं 15% 20% डायमंड ज्वेलरी का सेल्स हो गया है ये क्या रीज़न है क्या ये इसकी वजह से हो गया कि लोअर पॉइंटर्स अवेलेबल है प्राइस पॉइंट चेंज हो गया है कि या कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर भी चेंज हो गया
दोनों सोना का भाव अभी 5,000 के ऊपर हो गया सो अब पहले हमारा गांव में कस्टमर लोग आता है ये पहले कैसे मांगता है 3 सवरन में माल दे दो 5 सवरन में माल दे दो अभी उल्टा हो गया 5 लाख में माल दे दो 2 लाख में माल दे दो सो अभी ये लोग बात करता है पैसा में सो हमने ज्वेलरी दिखाने के समय ये 3 लाख को ये है सो हीरा भी है सो भाई ने बोलता है ना एक्सपीरियंस कस्टमर्स दे वांट टू गेटिंग ज्वेलरी विथ एक्सपीरियंस सो ये लोग को बहुत अच्छा है सो व्हाट इज आवर टारगेट सेल्स पर मंथ नाउ वी आर गेटिंग 1000 कैरेट सेल्स पहले इतना नहीं है 5 साल के पहले 100 कैरेट भी नहीं बेचता है अभी इतना सेल्स है बट छोटा पॉइंट है छोटा आइटम ज़्यादा बिक रहा है
True. Satish, one thing which, we recently did a large study for World Gold Council and one thing which we found out was very interesting is the growth of business in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. In fact, the growth in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana has been much more than growth in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, which are supposed to be the traditional gold consuming centers in, South India. What is it that is changing in these two states? Is it because of the demarcation of new states and a lot of money is coming in? What has changed? And this is an interesting thing which has happened.
See, the Andhra and Telangana.
Satish,
Andhra and Telangana, the bifurcation also created some sort of impetus into the states, and also the growth is also there. And last few years, what happened? The agriculture was also good. Literally speaking, the agriculture economy was really good. Everybody has 3-4 crops. That 3-4 crops is enough for everybody to invest. At the end of the day, our business depends on the agriculture community. At least 50% of the business comes from the agriculture background people. So, and everybody, the marriage season is also one thing. So these two factors are making it, and when the agriculture season is good, they invest in gold automatically. So that is one of the things. And other thing is also the younger generation also investing in form of a coins or a jewelry and other things. That sort of a concept also is taken in some shape in Andhra, and especially in Andhra. So people investing in small portion of gold or jewelry and other things, so which makes them comfortable and safety aspect. So even the villages who are coming from the villages side also, the children are, everybody is in abroad. Literally, every child, one of the child is always in US or England or Australia, wherever it is. So they also know about the safety part of it. They're also investing in the form of gold. Because we started e-commerce in COVID time. So we exported so much jewelry to US, Australia and England. Literally, we are shocked. It's all basically the young generation who have done this business.
Sure.
It's not the elders. So that means what the psychology of the people is also changing. They're also looking at the paper investment is paper investment. At the end of the day, the physical form. That also matters a lot. So
But do you expect this trend to continue? Because last 2-3 years we've seen very strong growth in Andhra and Telangana. Do you think this trend to continue going forward?
yeah, we see at the end of the day, we are also educating people on the security aspect of it. When the volatility and global economy and anything is that this is the safest haven
Right.
for everybody. So when we talk to people and we also educate it simultaneously. So hopefully the trend continues and anything.
Right. Saiyam bhai, if you could put your unique chain hat, because you sell pan India, are you also seeing this kind of regional shift which is happening like Andhra, Telangana? Are you seeing any specific regions which are doing very well?
See, the thing is, for gold jewelry, if I would say per se, is South has always been very good for us. If you can say Kerala, Tamil Nadu, they have been very good. But in the past, there's another side to it. There's Bihar and UP, which everybody is forgetting. And these two markets are the markets which there is a lot of money which is there in these two states. As I would say that from the unorganized to organized, when this new race is coming, the youth is coming, they are getting more organized, and it is easier for me at Unique to, when they come down to Mumbai and then I ship the parcel through a logistic to their city, it becomes very easier, because when they come to Mumbai, they will get a huge range to see from us, and we will bill it to them. Previously, what used to happen, these guys used to go down to Delhi or maybe the local markets, buy jewelry of a lower purity with no hallmarking. Now, since the 5 years have come, there's a lot of support from the government when it's coming to the norms. So we are, and the business has come majorly into books. Looking at that, we are seeing that growth in these two states. As Satish bhai said, Andhra and Telangana is not only seeing growth in gold, but I think in Hyderabad, there is the highest sales of diamond all throughout the country is now in Hyderabad today. So it's not Delhi, or it's not another city like Punjab, where people love to buy diamonds. But when we again come back to regional demands of what products are moving. So if you go to see if a lightweight yellow set or a big yellow set, if a girl is getting married, she's going to wear a heavy yellow set or a Calcutta heavy set in the south of India. Or when it is going to come to the north of India, it is not the quality of the diamond, but the set should look huge enough. The quality is not that of a value in the Haryana, Punjab or Delhi. So that those things are always there. But I still see there is a lot of growth in these areas, and the areas which were previously backward are now, as they are coming into books, as the new race is coming, as the new technology is coming, as these guys want to grow, they are focusing on designs, they are focusing on the color, the rose gold jewelry is selling, the rhodium jewelry is selling. So the new race wants something new. So when they want something new, they have to come to a place like Mumbai, or they have to come to a place like Delhi, where there is actually new jewelry, new designs always available with us.
Okay, so one last question. I think we are running out of time. Yeah, please, Satish, go ahead.
See, another point is aspirational jewelry. The youngsters are really thinking on this aspirational jewelry because the mindset of the people wants some change in them also. They want to look beautiful, they want to look good in the communities, in the regional space also. So that also given the flip to the business also.
Right.
So
Yes.
they buy gold also, they buy diamond also, or a stone-based jewelry, which was not there before. So the trend is changing slowly. The people are using it, people are enjoying it, and then that's all.
Yeah, Ramesh sir.
For this question, people mindset is also changed before COVID, after COVID. Before COVID, our average bill ticket is 8 gram.
Yes.
Abhi 13 gram. Kitna taka average bill ticket. And also footfall of the customer is also heavy. So customers' input is also heavy. They are buying because they feel gold is the best heaven.
Right.
The mindset is totally changing. So next 5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
very, very, because they told middle class people, 5 to 30 lakhs people, इतना ज़्यादा है. So उनके पास क्या करेगा? हमारा साइड को उनको मालूम नहीं है. म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसा डालना.
So sir, average ticket size क्या होगा? यानी आप
अभी 13 ग्राम है.
13 grams average ticket size.
50-60% ज़्यादा है.
Right.
That is very good scenario.
Satish, one last question and very quick because we are running out of time. We saw last 10 years, the big battleground between single store, medium store versus chain stores was the big cities, right? Now we've seen big cities are reaching saturation point in terms of shift of consumer. Do you think the next battleground is tier 2, tier 3 cities?
Undoubtedly. There's no doubt about it. See, at the end of the day, the concept of go to customer is going to be in place, like any other bank where they go to the villages and open a branch next to the village. That's a concept that's going to be in jewelry industry also. That's a change which is going to come next 5 to 10 years time in a big way. So literally we can see everybody in every place, all the villages, all the cities, all the metros, everywhere. And the growth and the potential for growth is also there. The market is there, market is created, and the population is always increasing for us. That is a good sign, and we celebrate anything and everything with gold. So
right. Thank you very much. Thank you to all my panelists. Thank you very much. Do we have, yes, Ashok sir, please.
Just one question, because it's very interesting, and thank you for the insights from all parts of India. Do you see, because now everything is moving to e-commerce, online, do you see your kind of jewelry actually moving to the e-space, where the consumer looks at your catalog and he has confidence that if he clicks, he pays, he gets what he has asked for? So do you see that kind of shift happening? Are you preparing yourself for that? Or is it going to be still, I open my showroom and you come there?
Satish,
Ashok bhai, it's always been an internal connect which is there between the jeweler and the customer, but the e-commerce is growing a lot in the gem and jewelry trade. If you see per se the lightweight chains, the lightweight earrings, the lightweight diamond, 15,000 to about 75,000 range, we as jewelers are yet to come in the 30-minute domino space of e-commerce, which is also required. I feel if a boy likes or finds his girlfriend and he says that, boss, I love you now, and e-commerce presses the button and pays the money, 30-minute delivery once in the jewelry comes. Also, we are taking 2 to 3 days or maybe 15 days also in getting the gift to the person who's taking it. So once this kind of a thing comes in, so I think the growth will increase more. So Satish bhai, you would like to take ahead?
Yeah. See, basically, frankly, the e-commerce space is growing in gold industry, in the jewelry industry. And during the COVID time, we concentrated on the e-commerce, frankly. Before that, we were doing it, but e-commerce, at COVID time, we were literally idling our time in this thing. We thought, okay, let us put the effort on the e-commerce. We could see traction to e-commerce so much. And what we did is the live e-commerce of across all showrooms. The stock, entire range is e-commerce. Anything they can buy, anytime. So there is no restriction. So we didn't create a specific e-commerce stock.
Yeah.
Everything is live e-commerce. So what happened, the people all over the world, whoever wants to do, we fix an appointment with them and then we increase the relationship with them. So that's how we increased our turnover. So we did 2 to 3% of the turnover from our side. We did through e-commerce last 2 years consistently. So we are increasing our speed.
If I can just add to this point, so there are 2 types of tech-based things which is happening. One, as Satish pointed out, where more and more, especially jewelers who've got multiple stores are trying to link their inventory, so that if you go to one store, you don't find something, you can actually look at what is available in other store. Second, if you look at e-commerce sales as such, as per our market intelligence, essentially it's still less than 5%. Yes, COVID did provide that big push. However, if you also look at the ticket sizes, more ranges like 15,000 to 40,000, that kind of range, where people are still okay ki maine order kar diya, dekhuga nahi to bhi chalega. Not the high ticket one, but obviously that is something which is growing.
But I think the mandatory hallmarking will make a difference.
100%.
That is compulsory.
That is mandatory now also.
Thank you very much. Thank you everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.